Hey everybody, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome back. I am just finishing up some prep for engineered options. I will get a Telegram post for engineered options members out here in just a couple of minutes. I'm just getting some key levels. Directionally, we don't have an awesome workspace for engineered options, meaning, let me bring up a chart here. There we go. So just having a look at everything on the 1 hour, 4 hour. Let's go XSP 4 hour, 1 hour, and daily. If I go current market, let's go here. Okay, my 1 hour chart has a crossover bearish. My 4 hour chart price is basically flat. We're kind of showing indecision. And then the daily is still providing some structure. So again, like I'm proceeding this week in engineered options with a smaller trade size, a little bit of caution. I'm getting the levels out here in just a moment, but it's probably going to be a lot easier just to get them at the open since we are looking at another gap lower. Futures down 0.31. We should be looking at a slightly lower gap coming out of opening bell. So trying to get some key levels sorted out here this morning. Let me get the chat up for everybody. Chat's open for all traders. Okay. Also, taking a look at our, gamma flows this morning. Red, 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 red. So there's certainly some downside pressure. We closed out the month 69.39, nice little pin price to wrap things up. All in all, January was a pretty decent month. It finished slightly bullish, which is a good sign for stocks to come for the end of the year. But rolling right into February, we have I think it's this week is our final week of blackouts for stock buybacks. We do have some earnings this week that I think the markets will, want to see some support on. Here's this week's earnings. So we had some this morning pre-market. I saw some Disney alerts going off on my charts. Getting into some of the major ones here. Palantir's a big name coming out today after close. Pfizer's one tomorrow morning. So Merck, Pfizer, Pepsi, PayPal, AMD. I mean, these are some pretty big names. So let's put a little dot next to some of these that are notable. I would say Palantir after close today, PayPal, Pepsi, Merck, and Pfizer. Healthcare space I do like a lot in 2026. AMD, SMCI in the chip space. Chipotle, got some covered calls on Chipotle. Hopefully they have strong earnings. Uber, Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk. Got quite a few in the pharma space this week. Boston Scientific, CME Group, that's for trading, UBS for banks. It says Alphabet, but that is Google, GOOGL. ARM Holdings, Qualcomm, O'Reilly. Never would have realized it, but that is a high flying stock that kept making all-time highs last year. Dealt with some volatility at the end, but still supplying auto parts nationwide, little brick and mortars. Apparently, they have a pretty strong franchise. Snapchat or Snap Inc., Elfin Cosmetics, ConocoPhillips for energy, Shell for energy. I like XLE versus trying to pick the individual stocks. XOM for Chevron Mobile. I'm sorry, Exxon Mobil, and then Chevron is CVX, Shell and Conoco. Cigna, that should be in the healthcare space. Humana and Progressive have been beat up pretty bad. United Health Group took a big dump last week with some Medicare news. Amazon, MicroStrategy, Bitcoin hit fresh lows over the weekend. Roblox, Reddit, Affirm, that's the big one for the consumer. That's the buy now, pay later stuff like Klarna, Affirm. All right, so that's pretty much our big chunk of notables this week. So I'll be looking for some trades and opportunities on newsbreakers. Hopefully some good ones to play here. I think that, look, a strong earnings week this week would be probably perfect for the market to have some support. So I'm going to clear this up. But we're starting kind of on our heels with, again, flows looking relatively negative from the gamma perspective this morning. We're looking to open up a little bit lower. Futures down 0.32%. Anything below 69.35 flows into 6,900, 68.90. I would write one key level down right now, and that would be around 6,800. So right now we're holding up and hanging out with support around 68.80. We certainly don't really want to see support break at 68.80 without having an aggressive bounce. So if we can hold here 68.80 and we can hold 6,800, this market still, supportive despite the lower time frames crossing over and starting to show some indecision. Okay. So 6,800 to me is pretty key support. Below that, this has, all the ease to drop into like 6,500. Which doesn't mean the market's bearish, right? It just means like that's the correction that I think needs to take place. Okay. So let me get. Okay. So I just posted there for engineered options in Telegram and the member Telegram. We're seeing clear indecision in the markets, but larger time frame structure remains supportive. Downward pressure likely continue unless Mag 7 shows strong earnings and support flows this week. I'm trading small with XSP, better risk management, total exposure. I will post my live trades and pending orders just after opening bell. Not till opening bell. Okay. That way I'll get an easy update, get the levels, we get our participation trades in. That way we see how, where the futures market's going to be at to open up the week. All right. Let's do a little prep here from the daily profit play side, waterfall income. So waterfall income, I'll have a live trading session at 11:30 for members. If anybody would like to join me for a 1 p.m. webinar today, I will be live at 1 p.m. for waterfall income. We have some trades running. We took two full profits last week on Friday with an expiration. We've got another one into February. That's also a pretty nice buffer. Should also be looking at a full profit because I think it's down like 15, 16% from current price. So we're looking pretty good on that one. Okay. And volatility is a little cranky this morning. So let's check. All right. So Tesla, what's Tesla doing this morning? I'm looking at some P&L in the day. I can understand the Bitcoin related exposure. So Tesla down about $8. All right. Fresh lows on IBIT down to 44. So looking at another 7% lower on Bitcoin. Here's what a Bitcoin chart looks like this morning. Yep, fresh lows. So previous highs, right? Previous support or resistance rather becoming support. Let's see if it happens. It would be encouraging to see the bulls in Bitcoin hold this level, work its way back up here, potentially set up a nice bottoming pattern, and then I wouldn't be worried about it. but it is a key support level for right now. I'd say if we are looking at holding, this is the spot, or we have this outer trend line, which is around mid 60s. So Bitcoin, don't be messing around. If we're going to stay bullish, now to about 60s, that's like the big line in the sand for some bullish structure to hold. I think drawdown wise, it's like 40% right now. Yep, 41% pullback. So volatility. Yep. And VIX did spike up to about 20 today. Correct. So we had a VIX up just around 1995. That high is 1996. Let me set a chart alarm there. 1996. Pre-market SPX. Probably going to be a reasonable move if we get the VIX up. Oh my gosh, look at that. Plus or minus 51.76 today. That's not nothing. So 51.76 today. All right. Well, could get exciting. Happy Groundhog Day, by the way. So I'd like to keep this 68.90 or this low in mind for how far out I can go as far as daily profit play. I mean, if we're going to open up a little bit lower, let's say down about 0.3%. So we closed here around 39. 0.3%, maybe down about 20 to 21 points. That would be opening 66 points. I mean, I'd like to be able to sell some premiums where my put spread is below 68.70 and my call spread. I mean, there's going to be a lot of pressure here. I mean, I'm not going to be too skewed where it's like, oh, just sell like a higher delta call because the market's clearly going to go down. Well, the pressure is there, but I don't want to go too heavy on the delta. Meaning, if I did a 10 delta, I should be plenty out of the money here for a Monday. But if you wanted to go maybe a 13 to 15 delta call side and 10 delta or lower delta puts, just trying to give yourself a little bit more of a edge based on what we're currently seeing in flows right now. VIX is higher. I mean, I don't know why this chart looks ugly to me for some reason. I want to see it a little bit smaller. Anyway, trading around 69.29, 6,900, 68.90, pretty big levels. 69.35 is the pivot point between positive and negative. So if we're above 69.35, that's positive gamma. If we're below it, which we'll be opening below, it will be a negative gamma. Negative gamma is reinforcing like more volatility, reinforcing a little bit more downward flows. There's buying puts. That's kind of the overall action when you get into a negative gamma space. 6 more weeks of winter. Yeah, we'll see. I still like the movie, by the way. Groundhog Day it still plays well. All right. This is the 24, 23, 24-hour SPX. So we're getting this like live price. It's still just a big indecision candle so far. We're just getting started for the week. We do have a big earnings week ahead. Just be prepared. Like I said, January was a good sign. I still don't love the fact that we had a decent rising wedge. The market came back to test the highs. It could be, using this level, using this level, using this level. If I'm looking to position, obviously for those 3 levels, it's like, well, this is where I would say we're going to sell some premium. if I'm looking at buying support, it's going to be, off of a 6,500, 6,550 zone, or all the way back to like 6,150. Um, and we just want to see how supportive this like 50 period moving average will hold. Okay. We have opening bell in 9 minutes. VIX up, dollar index. I did say this. I was not going into this drop in the dollar. I thought was a fake out, and so far it's proven to be correct. The trade-off here, if the dollar index is catching a bid to the upside, this does mean risk off, in my opinion. So if we see dollar strength, that probably means risk off in equities, even if it's short term. I think structurally, yes, the dollar is, likely going to be choppy. Maybe if it gets up to 100 again or 101, we start to see another sell zone. But, this ride up in the dollar, obviously what happened with gold last week. By the way, in one day, silver wiped out a year worth of gains. Just saw that over the weekend. Not bad. Oil, again, volatile, up 20% off the lows, and it's pulling back. Here's another 5% down today. But from this low, oil's up 20, almost 21%, and currently trading with a 6% correction or back down. I mean, commodities running, oil's up. It still is making lower highs. Um, I think there's a lot of things just we're trying to thread the needle a lot of ways. I mean, we're trying to keep inflation lower, yet gold up, silver up, oil caught a bid. The one thing that is a bit scary with this flare up in commodities is how do we tame inflation? And how do we tell big energy to, drill and produce just massive supply when it's not profitable? They don't want $55 oil. They don't want $50 oil. So maybe it's here in this sweet spot where they can start, firing up some rigs and drills. But, this also brings, gosh, this is crazy. Look at this thing. 2.7 down to 0.95. I'd like to say this isn't manipulated because it's not supposed to be. This isn't your like BLS government data. But my gosh, whenever we do get a CPI reading, it better be way lower. So the BLS reported estimate for year-over-year CPI is 2.7, and this is more of a real-time measurement showing just massive, massive, massive deflation. Yikes. I don't know. 2026 is already shaping up to be, look, expect volatility. My goal is to reduce as much of it as possible and take advantage of any type of volatility flare-ups to, trade options and try to generate some premium. Gold. I pulled a fib up here. Here's a Fibonacci. We have hit the 30%, which isn't a fib. That's a Gann retracement. I just took the swing from this 2022 pullback. So just a huge weekly swing, weekly chart, monthly chart. 30%. I will say this 30%, if it gets tested and it becomes a low, we have about a 70% chance we come back and hit the highs on gold. Doesn't mean we go higher. Okay. I think this is, putting in a decent range that we might spend a lot of time trading inside of now. So all the excitement surrounding this big rip up in gold might just become a reality check. So do I like gold in the portfolio? Yes. Do I like dollar cost averaging? Yes. Do I want to hold and be super bullish now? No. I want to get my portfolio allocation to the percentages that I'm happy with, which is, as this is falling, I'm looking to take like little 1% stabs and build my position back up to, hopefully a 5 or 10% that I'm happy with overall. Like that's buying and holding. Um, Warsh. Yeah. So Kevin Warsh becoming the new Fed chair nominee. There's a history there, just so you know. I mean, he knows Bessent, he knows Druckenmiller. I think that Trump's had some dealings with Warsh's father in the past. So I mean, there's a history of like Kevin Warsh and the current administration, like they do know each other. So I don't think this is like, oh, that's a weird pick. Nobody expected that. There's actually some ties that go back, 10, 15, 20 years. Um, I think that's why he was picked. I do. So I'm not saying he's going to be a stooge or a lackey. Like that's what everyone thought with Hassett. Kevin Hassett was supposed to be like, I was a stand-in dove. Um, I mean, I think there's going to be some Fed independence, but I think why Warsh was hired is because of his history, because of his hawkishness he's expressed in the past. I think that kind of puts the pressure on Powell to just step away altogether. Because the threat was that Powell would, be done as Fed chair but stay on as a governor. And I think that pulling in Kevin Warsh is possibly going to get Powell just like got out altogether, where he doesn't have like the academic council pressure to stay on and be a Fed governor. That's at least what I was reading this weekend. So, but I was surprised to. I mean, I'm not surprised to learn there's a history there. I think he got tapped on the shoulder for a reason. But there's a history with Besant, and he's known some fund managers over the years, so could be interesting. All right, couple minutes before the open, get some updated levels. Silver, like I said, this drop. I mean, I think we took out, was it silver futures? There's no way a year of gains. It's more than that. I mean, silver wasn't that high a year ago, so I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Or maybe it was like, when's the last time silver's this high? Never. So it must have been gold took out a year. No, because gold, what the hell? That's so off. Somebody said took out like a year of gains. What's like it's at all time highs. Anyway, um, I'm a little bit less excited about silver. We've talked about this briefly. Was the XAU XAG ratio? This is why I was looking at getting into gold more so than silver. I still think there's an AI play there. I think there's going to be a lot of volatility. Um, I wouldn't be surprised this year. I think that we should all kind of brace for there's going to be stuff that gets pumped and rips and it becomes like the talk of the town. And then it has this type of movement, has this type of blow off top, and it's like on to the next. I'm not saying that gold and silver just go away, but if everyone is still going to sit here and chase gold and silver, I think price action wise, you're going to be very disappointed to see that we're going to spend a lot of time inside of this for a while, or perhaps even sliding lower. So I'm prepared for this type of stuff to happen on individual stocks, on other themes and narratives that the markets are wrapping their heads around for 2026. It's going to be just a constant like head on a swivel, chase, 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 which I don't want to do. I think that makes it extremely difficult. So silver's been a fantastic run. Um, I've taken a lot of silver profits along the way. I'm still going to have some allocation into it, but more is given to gold. Gold to me is a better trade, bigger picture. Bitcoin, we'll see. If there's a bullish pattern, we need to see a Bitcoin rally back to 98K or 100K, then we can start talking about some bullishness. But right now, it's just not the environment for it. Okay, so we're going SPX. Let's get some levels and go XSP. Come on. All right, so key levels SPX. If we want a one trade participation right now, get this up for engineered options. Let's go to Monday. So we're trading at 21. So about a 30-point head start. Okay, let me see if this will get filled. So 22, try 250 credit here. All right, bid ask is pretty wide. This is a tough one to get filled. I'm gonna try 240. So we opened up this morning, opened at 16. Let's see. All right, try this one for 250 pending. And then a 695. Okay, those trades are going in. Okay, so two posted trades for engineered options. Those are my participation levels. And then I'll get my defense trades in or my, other ATRs. I'll get those in a little bit this morning. Okay, so there should be credit spreads pending, one on each. If price can stay above 691 today on XSP, then we're good for another full profit on engineered options. We have the trade that expires today. So right now, the 690, 691, it's up about 54%. We just need some time. We need to see if it'll stay above 691, which right now there's a little bit of a buffer there. Okay, so I'll get those posted in just a moment. And I also want to get some fresh monthly levels. So it's going to be a bit of a plan today on engineered options, which is fine. Busy day. 68, 50, 68, 45. Yeah, what's wrong with that? Yeah, I'm just going five wide. Sorry, in the telegram is five wide. Okay, so now let's have a look. See if we still have a high. Expect to move on the day. I'm seeing a plus. So going down from a 51.76 down to 32 today. That's a pretty big drop off in volatility. Obviously, the VIX can still flare up into the high 19s. Look at today's daily profit play here. Let's see here. 11 delta, 10 delta. All right, I'll see if I can take a buck out of this. So we're trading at 37. All right, see if this will fill for $1.60. I'm going to go 10 wide if I can get this one to fill. $1.55. All right, filled for $1.50. Trade's coming for daily profit play really quickly. Let's see here. All right, trades in 85.95 on the top side, 68, 60, and 50 on the downside for 850. So we're recentered here. I'll calculate highs and lows. 85.95. Davis says 50.45. Did you get filled? Nice. Okay. Benji, what's your deal, dude? You're dying on me. All right, let me go horizontal line here. So we got it 85.95. So 85 and 68.60 down here. All right. So my daily profit levels, I'd like to see price stay between these two. With enough, with an 18-19 VIX today, this isn't one that I necessarily want to hang on to all day. I'd like to see a price with this type of volatility. If we have just some chop this morning, this would be a good one to grab, 50, 75 cents out of it. So if you're in for $1.50, looking for a dollar debit or lower for profit. Typo. No, if you're looking at a 69.50 on SPX, it's going to be a 695 on XSP, right? Remember, those participation trades are the ones you have to go slightly in the money. Because we opened up at like 691, 692. I've got to go a little bit in the money for that participation trade. All right. So we're essentially sitting at break even from last week's close. We had the open this week. Let me get my XSP levels here. The hell, dude. Is XSP not? I got a delayed feed on XSP. What the heck? All right. Well, that's annoying. I didn't realize that when I pay for my charts in TradingView and I get live futures feeds, I can't get an XSP feed. Lame. Is there a typo in Telegram? There should not be. No. 695, 694. That's participation trade XSP. Ah, I see. Sorry. I see what you're saying. 69. Sorry. Yep. It's updated. So 69.50. XSP would be 695. Okay, there you go. So key levels. Let's go. Dailies in. Just another giant wick to the downside. Look at this candle here. So this is your like CFD feed. Just another like big spike off the 50-day moving average. It just continues to hold. I mean, there's clearly like, algo buying right now at the 50-day. We hit it, we rally, we hit it, we rally, we bounce off of it to start off this week. We need price and XSP to stay above 691. Live feed right now, XSP is at 694. So our trade should be looking okay. So about 90% of max credit, which is good. Let's look at the option chain here for XSP. Needs to stay above 691. So we're looking at like a 75 to 80% chance it does. So that's good. Um, so Brian, you got filled at 697. I mean, I don't love having to go that far in the money. We talked about this in the master classes. I don't really want to go more than like 30 points in the money for that trade. So, I mean, based on where we opened, I'm good with that like 20 to 30 point calculation. That's what we should be seeing. So I shouldn't have to chase that thing 50, 60, 70 points in the money. That's accounting for like little to no volatility. I mean, remember, we're doing the math, right? It's like I don't want to have to give the market like more than like a 0.2, 0.3% head start. That's it. I think that, opening lower, it's like I don't think that's the low of the week. We just head up all week. I think it's going to be choppy. So I just want to make sure we get our key levels in. No daily profit play fill for me yet. Okay. I mean, you can tweak the strikes on daily profit play if you need to. Tweak the strikes by a 5 point difference. See what looks good. Let me look at it from a fresh account here. So if I go today's daily profit play, um, like 85, 90, 75, 7. I mean, again, I'm just looking at this from being like purely delta neutral. So if I went 90 by 95 and then 68, 75 by 70, it's like I'm getting 75 cents in a 5 wide. There's $1.25 and a 10 wide. I mean, I don't mind the trade. I don't like it I don't like it as much. 125, and my strikes are obviously a little bit higher on my side, right? I mean, it was a pretty quick grab this morning, 68.85 or 69.85, 69.95. The put side is what kind of gave me the bit of the advantage, the 68, 60, and 50. What's crazy though is look at the pricing skew. If I'm delta neutral, here's a 9 and 10 delta. Look at how much further away from the expected move we are versus the call side. So if you want to go 85, 95, that's a 13 delta. I mean, you can get a similar trade here, 69, 85, 95, and a 68, 75, 65. So the puts aren't as far away as they are in mine. I got the 60 by 50, but 75 by 65, because we did have a spike up this morning. But there's a buck, buck 55, buck 60 on a 10 wide. That's not terrible. So it's a slightly higher call side delta and a lower put side delta. And see if pricing can just chill and give us a few bucks this morning. Okay. Yep. I haven't been filled on either, Jacqueline. Nothing filled yet. Okay. Let me bring in some real time gamma. Okay. So here's a couple of good things. Positive gamma above 69.35. That's encouraging. 69.70 to 75. I mean, as long as I'm selling my call spreads above this level, I'd say I want to be, greater than 69.75. That's not bad. So again, we measure the pre-market stuff. This is our open. So if I take the 51 points, I mean, textbook would be take the open, go up 51, go down 51. That's our calculated move. I will go a little bit more of a buffer. So I'll take the previous day's close, which would be Friday. Let's take this close and go up 51 points. That was 51.76. 51.76 is right about there. That's 69.86. Okay. So here, 69.86. That should be the kind of the efficiency move. And then take the gap lower, go down 51, run 50, I'm sorry, 68.64. There. So if the market makers are accurate today, if they're efficient today, or at least maintaining an efficiency market, then we should see prices less than 69.86, greater than 68.64. So as far as choosing your levels, this is where I'd like to see, right? I'd like to see price stay below this, stay above this. If this is just a lot of initial volatility out of the gates, fine. If we run up into, 70 to 75, that's fine. I just want to see it stall and go back down. Dave, credit at 650. That can't be right. I mean, how wide is your spread? There's no way that's for an iron condor, you're not going to get 650 unless you're going like 50 wide, man. So 69.85 by 95, 68.60 by 50. That is 10 wide for me. I got $1.50. Yeah, just double check your strikes on that one. Make sure that yeah, 10 wide is not going to get 650. Yeah, make sure it's today's expiration there, Dave, 2-2 expiration. I don't know how you're going to get 650 out of any strikes for that matter. Because that'd be like trading an in the money. All right. We're at 50 now. So I finally have a feed. There we go. All right. Now I've got my feed. I finally had that stupid delayed feed, which I didn't realize I'm getting a delayed feed on XSP, which is annoying. So let me get some key levels out. So we're set. So I'm looking to participate. Break even for the week. This is going to be for engineered options. All right. So I have my participation trade. Okay. $686. All right, I'm getting these ready to go. So let's go sell. All right, let's get this all uniform. So we'll go sell and defense would be the 79. Okay. So I'm going 1, 2. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 4, 4 for my contracts here. Right. Sorry that took longer to get out this morning, but trades are updated. One contract, two contracts, three. I'm gonna go 4, 4. All right. Posted. Engineered options. Yep, 2/9 expiration. You're correct. Usually I get this stuff out ahead of time, but again, with the gaps and stuff like that this morning, it just didn't give me the exact level to give me my break-even participation levels. So that is okay, but that's why I'm getting it out right now. All right. Trades are posted. So we'll get those in. So far, looking good for full profit on today's winner for the Feb 2. So I'll get some working orders going. So Feb 9, go 9594. Nine one nine zero. 8685. And 7978. Okay. Pending, 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 pending. Good. Let's see here. Nothing filled yet, Maria. No. I mean, markets are up this morning I mean, again, gap lower, ripped higher. It's already kind of, I'm sensing the type of day like this where it's low, high, and maybe the market just kind of settles in and recenters right around that 69.35. That's probably all we need this morning for daily profit to be profitable. Hans, for I mean, that's a preference. I'm putting the participation out for either one. Remember, I said in the participation trade, this was discussed last week in the master class. The participation trade, if it was like one trade a week, that's it. You know, do I want to make $50 a week, or am I comfortable with like a $250 trade? That's why I'm like, participation trade. If that's the only trade you're going to take, then SPX is fine. You know, we win lose SPX for $250 a week. That adds up fine. For me, the way that I'm doing my, engineered options is we have indecision across the board, right? I mean, we have, yes, the daily chart is holding support, but the 4 hour is flat. The 1 hour is bearish, actually. We're crossing above the price, but my moving averages are still down a little bit. So, if I have indecisive alignments, I have to have some defense. I have to. That's why I'm trading XSP. So participation trade is fine, but I'm going to trade XSP. Okay. So we'll see what gets offered up and filled. I'm not chasing. Do not chase from the open today. Don't chase 50, 60, 70 points higher. Don't. Give it 20, 30 points. That's the fair number. These trades don't have to be rushed into, right? These trades are based on the math. When this market opens, look, when this market opens right here, I will give the market probably a 0.2% head start. That's it. If it goes higher than that, I'm going to let it sit for the week just in case the market wants to come back and be flat. I'm not going to chase this thing, 70 points higher and all of a sudden the market's got to be 0.5% up. It's like, I don't want the market to have to do that. And if that's our only way to participate is getting in first thing in the morning on Monday, that's not the trade I want. I want to set my levels and trade it. So trust me, don't chase this stuff. This market is not done being volatile. We're not done seeing all these wicks to the downside and choppiness. It's going to feel like this a lot this year. Right. That's a great point. Garrett says, remember last week we didn't get filled until it would have been Thursday, right? We got filled on Thursday and we got paid today. And the trades we got for the monthlies, those were filled during, this. The trades we got filled that were the monthly expirations for engineer, when they get filled there. And we were profitable. When the trade got filled for last week, it was on this sell-off. And hopefully it's closing out today as long as we stay above 691, which so far looking pretty good. So, yeah, I mean, I don't do these trades by accident. It's like I know what I'm willing to participate in. I know where I'm willing to kind of give the market a head start. And then I base it on the market's ability to be break even or better. And I just want to have some defense just in case. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at daily profit play this morning. And then also keep in mind for engineered options, I will be doing monthly trades as well. Profit target, I want those to be full expiration, Bill. So if we're going after, for the XSP trades, if I'm in for 50 cents, I want them to expire at 0. I'd like the full credit. So if you're trading heavy contracts, then, maybe you get out for like a 5-cent debit, 4-cent debit, 3-cent debit, something like that. But I'm trying to take as much of these as possible just because, look, the reality is if my win rate is, it'll be probably closer to like 65%, 70% win rates. We obviously have to have good alignments for that. But if we're at a, 55% win rate or 60% win rate, that's where the 1-to-1 makes all the sense in the world. If I win, let's say 58, 59% of my trades, I want a 1-to-1, right? I want a 1-to-1. So yeah, I don't really want to fudge with these. It's like, that's why the setup defined risk. I want to trust that the market can be break even or better. And we go from there. All right, let's go back to daily profit play. We might be looking at a quick profit on this one right now. So $1.50 is already up $30. See if we can snag. Chart alarms are set. I will be, like I said, I'll be happy anywhere between $1 debit or lower. If I'm going to go a little bit bigger, I'd like, maybe 75 cents debit or lower. We'll see. If XRP drops and fills, if it's dropping, it's probably going to fill all of them. If XSP drops, we're probably getting filled on participation, and we're going to get filled on our break evens. So I listed 4 trades. I'm okay with those levels. Yeah, I'm okay with that. All right. So we can just hang out. Daily profit play is in. Let's keep an eye on our strikes. Hopefully, we're not going too much more to the upside. But gamma level has shifted pretty aggressively now that we're back into positive gamma. Looks like 69.70 could be gettable to the upside. Again, our strikes are hopefully safe at 69.85. SLV covered call 90.5. Yeah, I mean the volatility in silver. I mean the IV rank, if you have a Tasty account, the IV rank in SLV. I mean, I don't know if anybody saw this, but so IV rank was trading over 100 last week. I think it was like 115, 120 on both GLD and SLV. Um, there was as I want to say on Friday last week there was as much volume traded on GLD and SLV option contracts that would match the SPY, which is like the most liquid and most heavily traded instrument all the time. So GLD SLV they just rallied to new heights of I mean I guess you can say speculation. What is not surprising is what do you think on let's say GLD and SLV? What do you think most people's trades were? What do you think most people's trades were in here? Take a guess. If you have GLD option contracts hitting SPY like volume, what do you think the trade was? Yeah, they were buying calls. So the ultimate, flipperoo, and it's like contrarian works. So I wasn't close to buying calls, but I was really close just to putting on a position. I didn't. I took that first little chunk at 474, which is fine. I'll do some more here at 405 and another one at 355. I sold some puts last week. Speaking of that, let me see if I can find some puts on SLV. So SLV, I mean, with premium this high, hopefully I can get a decent fill. Maybe coming back here to like 30. I mean, either 50 or obviously 30s, but I'm looking for a safe income trade. Let me find something here. Yeah, that was my concern is we just have this giant drop off in silver. If I wanted to establish some shares, let me see what I mean. I have some shares running. They're covered. They're probably going to get called away. But my cover calls at like 50. I think it's $55, but I bought it at like low 40s. So I definitely sacrificed some of that upside, which is frustrating, but whatever, still an income trade. I mean, I think we just have to be prepared for something ridiculous. So that would be, I mean, previous all-time highs, it's 44. I want to structure my trade there. If I looked at stacking like a 40 and a 35, see if I can get a ratio spread in here. So this isn't terrible. It's a ratio spread combo, willing to own some shares. If I do a 40 by 35, that'd be 37.50 on the own shares. I'd pull $100 extra bonus. So I get to take off another dollar. And then I take off another 80 cents. So I'd own shares at 35.70. If I took on any assignment, I'd own shares at 35.70. Let me see if we can get this one filled. This isn't taking up a ton of buying power in a margin account. It's not bad. Let me see if I can get $1.60 out of this. $1.60 not filling. 57 mid. See if how liquid this is. Try $1.55. All right, $1.55 filled. New trade coming in for Project Options Edge. Not yet, Jeff. I'm only trading XSP this week, man. So defense trades and stuff like that. I mean, I can give you those levels. Um, I'm trading XSP this week with indecision on 1 hour and 4 hour. So SPX levels, you'd have so we opened at 69.16. So 6916 is opening price. 6950 is going to be my participation. 6915 will be my break even level. 6860 will be my 50% ATR. And 6790. Well, it's actually 6788. Usually at that 100% ATR, it's that should be like a strong bounce. So I'm gonna go 6790 would be the 100% ATR. What's our expiration for the end of the month, by the way? We have the 27th would be end of the month. That's going to be a Friday. Yep. So I'll have a 2/27 expiration. Okay. Not yet. I'm going to get that trade posted from other accounts. So that was SLV. Should be an income trade. We're going across the board now. Yep. Okay. So $1.55 seems to be getting filled. No problem. It's almost getting filled too easy. So you can try to sneak in like 156 or 157. 7.2. Okay, just give me a little bit to get these filled. Need about 120 seconds. Okay, I'll post this for Project Options Edge. Remember the IV rank is extremely high. I'm still willing to take shares of silver, but it's going to be way cheaper. And honestly, the most likely scenario is that we're just going to get the income. Most likely. Okay. So got filled anywhere between $1.54 and $1.58 on those trades. Project Options Edge. Okay. That is going to take us down to trade number 102, I believe. Okay. So 102. And then a 36.35. So 155 credit. Okay. 69.75. All right, you son of a bee. Well, nothing like some high flying vol to kick off the day, huh? Market's down, market's up. It's up 60 points already on the morning. I like to see a little bit of a stall here at this gamma level. I mean, I have some defense I can work with here. If it's like, I don't know if I need it, but obviously, if I've got some risk above the 69.97,000 handle, I might. I hate to do that, but if we get above this, I don't want to take on the 850 risk. Like I'm gonna have to play around with defense a little bit. So let's see what a 7,000. I don't think we're really gonna need it, but obviously I'd rather have the defense there to be safe. Right now we're probably taking on a little heat on daily profit because price is not stalled for the morning. All right, so here's trade for today. There's my 85.95 on the call side. So right now I'm down about $1.30 or so. If we end up coming needing some defense, if I went defend at 7,000, which is just above, started at 90, what's this going to cost me? So 10 wide defense cost me about, I mean, if it's 50 cents, I can sacrifice 50 cents. I'm not going to sacrifice a dollar and change. See if we can get this down to like 50 cents. If I went up one strike. So the 7,005, 10 wide. To sacrifice a little bit of my daily profit play. Let this marinate for a second. Are we ripping to 7,000 today? Are you freaking kidding me, man? I don't think we are. Look at how quick this changes, though. Zero DT is just nuts. All the gamma now is stacked up 70 to 7,000. Big level at 69.50. That's got 50, 70, 75. We're there. Ugh, this is so annoying. If I do a 5 wide, it's really cheap, but a 5 wide only pays us at the end of the day. So that's not really the defense plan. Let's go. I mean, VIX is getting smashed this morning. I don't think we're going to have a upside risk, but 124 to the upside. Jeez. So we open. I will, I don't know. I'll be a little miffed if the market's going to rip up to like 70-20 today. That would not make me happy at all. Son of a gun. Well, we can go here. So this trade cost me, maybe 40, 50 cents. I don't think we're going to need it, but let's see if we can get out of this. So what I'm doing here is if I put on a defense trade for like 40, 50 cents, then the dollar that I collected, $1.50 I collected, I'm going to try to let that go all the way to expiration. So if I can keep $1.50, only sacrifice 40 cents here, I'm still making net profit on the day. But the defense trade would give me up to $1,000 to cover my risk. I think the defense trade is a bit of a throwaway. I don't think we're coming up that high, but I also don't want the 850 risk to be like, well, we're closing at 69.90 today. There's no profit. You know, let's see if we can make this cheap enough. I'm going to try 40 cents, just a tiny little sacrifice on defense today. 40 not filling, 45. Let me find out the levels that I like here. 15. What? Sheesh. It's just way pricier than I want it to be. Let's try this. Okay, so a call side. I don't know if the puts are just like wider from the looks of it. If I go 7,000, 710, 70, 20 on the put side, I'm showing 40, 60, 70. If I just go call side, maybe it's a little bit easier. So do a 10 wide fly here, showing about 60 cents. I don't think I need it. It's pricier to have it in here, right? That's $1. It's like, I don't want to sacrifice the entire daily profit play today. So that's doable. I can still make 90 bucks on the day. I'm going to take this trade. If I go 55 cents, see if it fills. This one's hopefully just to plan on winning the day. $0.60. All right, just got filled at 60 cents. All right. Daily profit play is going to get a defense trade in today. I don't think we're going to need it. I really don't, but just in case, I want it. So DPP defense. So this is a um, Defense trade if price moves higher than our call spread. So 940 is max profit. We shouldn't need this trade based on current VIX and volatility, but better safe than sorry. For the day, DPP for $1.50 credit and a potentially all right. So if I give the defense trade away, meaning it doesn't come into this zone and it's just a wasted 60 cents, well, I'm still making $1.50 on the other daily profit play, so I make 90 cents on the day. So if I still make 90 cents, that's fine. I'm keeping nearly $100 on the day. I'm okay with that. For the price to turn, aggressively south and come all the way back down here and threaten the put side, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, usually that's rarely the case. The VIX would have to go from this to this all the way back to that. Like we'd have to see the VIX go all over the place today, which I don't think is going to happen. So more than likely, the net result is going to be if price will chillax here and roll over a little bit, or at least just stall and head back down, then we should have a good opportunity to maybe keep our $1.50 inside of our strikes, and then the defense trade is a loss 60. Now, if price keeps going higher, remember 7,000. I mean, if we're just going to hang out and glue to that number, there could be some profit opportunities on that 10 wide if I can pull in, $200, $300, even if I offset some of that risk. That's better than taking a full 850 loss today. So we'll kind of keep watching things, obviously, as this unfolds for the day. This is one of those days also we kind of talked about that, the bonus trade at like 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Today could be one of those days where 3 p.m., 3:10 p.m., if we're sitting here near the highs of the day, if the market sells off, it could be a very cheap trade. Like I do a 5 wide spread, pay anywhere between 50 to 90 cents for that trade and have up to $400 of profit. But if it already comes back where price is, low, high, hangs out here for the day, that's a maybe. It's a bit of a throwaway. The goal is I'm trying to win the day. So hopefully we are positioned for it. I'm going to set a chart alarm here at 70:10. I mean, if I'm really surprised the upside, then we're making all-time highs again, which would be kind of stupid, but it is what it is. So we'll see if it hits it. We shouldn't need it. Like I said, we shouldn't need it based on the expected move today at 51.76. We shouldn't need it, but it's there just in case because it hopefully covers most of the risk. How the butterfly provides defense. Absolutely. So let me build out the trade. So here's the visual on the trades that I just built. So I'm going to go, let's go this trade today on the SPX. So an 85 by 95 and then 68, 50 by 60 by 50. Okay. So this is my trade, right? This is my iron condor for the day for daily profit play. Now I added to this the 7,000 and a 70-10 and 70-20. Okay. This should be 7,000, 70, 10, 70, 20. That's weird. That profit trap should be way bigger. Yeah, it's in member Telegram. Yep. So daily profit play members, you see the defense trade in your Telegram. Hey, nice. Daily profit play officially crossed over 1,000 members. 1,004 members. Awesome. I did it with calls. No, I did it with calls. Calls were cheaper. So 7,000, 70, 10, 70, 20. This profit trap should be way bigger. This should be up to like 940 in profit trap. So why is it doing that? I have no idea. I don't have any overlaps here. 7,000, 70, 10, 70, 20. What the fudge? That's weird. Anyway, I here, if this for some reason isn't illustrating it correctly, I'll do it myself. I'll do it myself. All right. And like I said, we probably don't need the defense trade. If I sacrifice it, it's a 60-cent throwaway, but I keep 90 cents on the day. So here's what it should actually look like. Nice. Stephanie says 30, even better. I mean, throw it away at 35 cents. I mean, you're going to make $1.15 on your iron condor this morning. So this is, I'll just draw it out. So if we have price be 60 and 50, right? So price is at 60, 50, all the way up here, 69, 85, 95. My risk comes in above 95. And then I buy the 7,000, which is, it's less risk. So here's my iron condor. Okay. And then my little 60-cent debit. This would be something like this. There's my 60-cent debit, but it goes way up here on the defense trade. So this is what the risk graph should look like. So if we're at 6,985 or lower, I keep my daily profit play profit. If we're at 6,860 or higher, I keep my daily profit play profit. My full risk is greater than 6,995 on the iron condor and 6,850 on the iron condor. All right. So the ramp up is 7,000. Once we get above 7,000 up to 70.20, anything in here at the end of the day, pin price is 70.10. So the way this works, it's daily profit play alerts. Mike, are you in daily profit play as a member? It's been posted, man. 10:23 a.m. Defense trade posted. Engineered options. Let me make another note there for you, Tyrone. I'll take a look at that, Hans. Okay, let me get back to this. I'm just let me gather my thoughts. So price right now is trading at 69.69. So we're down here now. So this is for a full $1.50, right? So price stays less than 69.85, greater than 68.60. I can keep the full $1.50. Cool. This trade cost me 60 cents. So this 60 cents could pay me up to $9.40. Again, at the end of the day, if we're sitting at 70.10, that's max profit. The probability of that happening is pretty slim, right? But because I'm only paying 60 cents for it, even if this trade were to offer me $200-$300 of profit, that helps me offset some of the risk because this would be risking 850. I'm risking 850. I'm risking 850. I apparently lost my dexterity. So my risk would be if we're greater than 69.95, I'm risking $8.50. If we're less than 68.50, I'm risking $8.50. So the defense trade to me is just something that helps me offset the risk. Doesn't mean I can do it all. I'd love to do it all. But even if I was able to offset like $300 of risk, let's say I take $300 profit here, max risk of 850. It's like I'm still down, maybe 450 on the day, and I'm dead wrong, right? So it's just helping me mitigate some of that risk. And obviously, if I can throughout the day, like let's say I can take this for a partial loss and then get a decent chunk here and set it for an even smaller risk, fine. Like I said, I don't think we're going to need it. I think the market should cooperate, hopefully end up being less than 69.85 on the day. And we keep this, we lose this, we walk away with 90 cents a contract. I still make, $100 a contract, roughly $90 a contract. And for a day, that's fine. Okay. I mean, if we can make $100 a day and our average loss could be less than, if our average loss is less than $200, average loss is less than $300. Obviously, if our average loss is, as close to break even as possible, like that's why the defense trades are discussed. But if my average winner is 100, let's say we have 100 trades, well, I'm making $8,900 based on our win percentage. So if I have 11 losses, I'm sacrificing $2,000 to $3,000 and I'm making 9. I'm still making money. But for the risk reward, sometimes we really can't afford to not play some defense to manage risk on the day. Does that make sense? All right. So I'm not sure why option strat isn't showing the profit trap. It should be way larger. This shows a max of around $200. We're way up here at like 900. So for some reason, it's not registering that. If I get rid of this, remove, 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 remove. Yeah. What the heck, dude? So this is the defense trade. You can make, $940 because I paid 60 cents for it. And it's a tiny little risk. But yeah, now it's showing like 30, 35 cents debit, which is cheaper. Fine. But here's our price. Okay. So we'll see if we need it. I don't think that we will. But if we do, it's like this stuff's out of our hands. Like we can't control price. We planned our trade. I've got a trade in. We've got some defense. My goal is if the market is going to do something silly and go way beyond the expected move, then we have some defense. And when we opened up down here and we're selling an 85, it's like we opened at 16. So I sold 70 points out of the money. And the market's trying to tell me like, that might not be enough. That stuff sucks, man. Like that's not fun. But we can't feel like we didn't do our job. It's like our job is we focus on the market efficiencies and see if it follows. It normally does. So hopefully by the end of the day, we are going to carve out a winner. Okay. What's the question on the ATR stuff? So let's go SPX. These are right. That's the opening price of the week. That's level 0. And then 50, 75, 100. It's correct. Here's XSP. Open for the week. 25, 50, 100. So, the ATR for engineered options is correct. All I'm doing here is I have a participation trade that's a little bit higher. And then I have my break-even trade. And then I put my 50. Oops, I'm sorry. This is a 50 is here. 50 and 100. So the levels I'm focused on, it's just a little bit of a head start. The break-even for the week. And those are the two trades we focus a lot on because that's usually where I like to kind of grind out my profits to make sure I give the market the edge. Hey, close out at least break even or better. If we can do that, we'll win the week. And then defense is a 50 and 100% ATR. So here's my 50. Here's my 100. Okay. This should be the same script you guys have in class. This is TradingView. I can double check everything or swim, but this should be printed the same way where it's the start of the week, 50, 75, and 100. I'm only focused on the 50 and 100. Okay. All right. So we got commodities getting smashed. Let's see what the heat map's doing. Right now we have 59, almost 60% of the S&P up today. And it's not all led by Mag 7, which is kind of encouraging. Like last week, the market like getting to highs was a lot of Mag 7 juice. This week we have Google earnings, and is it Google and Amazon this week? Did I see that on the notables? So Google on Wednesday, Amazon on Thursday. Yep. All right. So you got some Mag 7 love there. Last week was Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla. Microsoft was down, Meta was up, Tesla was up briefly. But Eli Lilly is kind of a big one that's making all sorts of deals, and I think they're having. I saw an interview with Rowe this last weekend that they've got a pill now for the GLPs. So instead of your injection of GLPs for your, I mean, I guess you can call it Ozempic if you will, but now there's like a pill form for it that I'm sure more people are more comfortable with versus a jab in the stomach. I will. Yep. I'll let me get to those. So anyway, 60% of the stocks up today. Earnings coming on Google and Amazon. Commodities down in a pretty big way. Let's go futures. So oil retreating hard. Currency strength. Anything stands out? Swiss is getting smashed today. That's lovely. Hopefully there's more to that. I'm looking for, okay, gold and silver. So a lot of the red on futures is oil. OJ's down. But index futures are up. Okay. Somebody asked about defense trades at the end of the day. So the defense trade, all I need to have happen, I mean, for my defense trade, I'm going to keep it towards the end of the day because if I need it, where do I need it? We should have this figured out, right? If price is greater than 69.95 and making a run into 7,000 plus, I mean, I want that defense. So my pin is 70.10. So if we're at 7,000 up to 70.10, for every dollar, 7,001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that's $100 bonus. So the pin price is 940 if we're exactly at 70.10, which is way up here. Do I think we're going to get there today? We shouldn't get there today. But if I have price just above 7,000, so 7,000, 70.10, 70.20, I'd have some risk here, my profit trap, and my risk there. So again, if we have a top forming and the day just kind of hangs out here and chills or goes back down to recenter, our $1.50 for daily profit play, I just want to see price stay less than 69.85. So if I lose 60 cents up here, if I lose here, win here, I still make money. Okay, where's my weak spot? Well, if we're between 86, 60, 69, 86, 69, 94. That's in between my daily profit play and my defense. So I get there's like a little bit of a weakness window, but I don't know. I don't need to throw extra trades in there because I don't think we're going to get there. Okay. But if I was worried about like this 95 to 7,000 handle, I could put in a tiny little guy right here. This is a 5 wide. For an extra 25 cents, I could get paid, $470. Is that going to offset my entire risk on my daily profit play? No, but it's cheap, but we got to be perfect at 7,000. And I don't know if we're going to do that. I'm hoping we just turn red. Not to go down for the day, not to be negative on the day, but just to look, market needed to stay above this level to win the day. If it can do that, I just don't want to see price go too much higher. That makes sense? So right now I stand to win daily profit play, sacrifice defense trade, still make $90 in the day per contract. That's fine. And the day is not done. So if the market's going to be, up in the morning, flat for the rest of the day, or up in the morning and then down to neutral for the rest of the day, we're going to win on our daily profit play. And you could be mad that you threw in 50 cents or 60 cents or 35 cents on a defense trade that didn't work, but you still made money on the day. And I'd rather have that to net profit on the day versus having 0 defense and just taking a full loss. That's just me. Okay. Yep. So we shouldn't have to do much to micromanage these trades. If we hang out here all day, okay, I guess like 7,000 is obviously a round number. Like maybe the market wants to try to make a poke at it today. But if I'm going to get a poke at 7,000, like I want to pay like 10 cents, 15 cents for that trade. Give me like a $490 profit trap if it's spot on at the end of the day. But that's such a hard trade to know. And if I go, put side defense, I'm like, I'm not going to sacrifice another $100 because I don't think that I really need it today. We've already had a move that's beyond what we should have seen. As far as market efficiencies goes, it's beyond what we should have seen. So market opened, ripped up 64 points. We expected a 51.76 on the day. So like I said, I'm taking the gap here. And the market was up 44 points on the previous day's close. Hopefully that's enough that we just kind of stall here at the top and we're safe below 69.86 or 5.85. There. We need to stay below that. Then here's the 60, I believe. 60. Oh, wait, that was I measured out the plus minus 51. Yep. So our level here is the 85 and 60. So my at a glance on the chart is when I'm spot checking this for the day is I just want to see that we're below this line. If we're below this line right here, good. That's perfect for us. Like seeing other, yeah, those are fun. They're fun. They're just, you have to remember that's not a high probability trade. That was really nice to have that. We had 2 pin trades on Friday last week, which was pretty awesome. And the exact close, like we closed at 39.03 and we needed it to close at 40. On a 15 wide butterfly spread, that's pretty sweet. So, it's that paid. It was a 30, 40. Yeah, it was the broken wing butterfly. So 30, 40, and 55. We needed to finish right at 40. And you're within $1. That's really, really nice. Okay. Okay. Couple things to wrap up. We'll hang out a little bit longer this morning. Let me get some schedule updates today. So today 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Waterfall Income live class today, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Waterfall Income session. All are welcome to join. Blake, do we have a link for that? It's probably going to be in my Telegram. So link for Waterfall Income. I'm trying to think for master classes this week. I will try this. So this week is good. Next week's going to be quite disrupted, which is going to be annoying. But I'll be in Jacksonville. So master classes this week. I'll try to squeeze in either a daily profit play. I'm going to put either master classes or video updates. Daily profit play, engineered options, project options edge, and see if I can get a video piece out for pinch point scanner. I'm also going to be looking for trades and newsbreakers this week because we have earnings. So maybe an Eli Lilly, possibly Uber, could be Amazon and Google and some other ones. So let's see if I can price out some trades that I like this week. Took a small, actually we had a net win. That was weird how it played out last week. We had a net winner on Netflix, despite the weird assignment that I was really annoyed with, but ended up grabbing about $100 on Netflix last week and had a nice win on Microsoft. Okay. So that is the schedule for right now. I was going to say for next week, so daily profit play should be fine. Daily profit play should be fine. But I will be live in Jacksonville for a VIP conference. So we have about 50 members coming to our on-site. I think we're gonna have like 300 online. But I'll be in Jacksonville next week on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is a travel day. I will not be live on Wednesday morning. My flight's at like 7 a.m. Wednesday out of Jacksonville. There's no way I can be live in the morning. I don't think trading on a plane is going to be doable. So should be daily profit play Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Should be fine. I'll probably be coming to you from the hotel. But we'll talk shop and get our morning session in. Okay. Yep. So if you want to join that VIP conference, I don't know if there's a link to join. You can contact the team, support at prosperitypub.com. So if you are a Diamond Club member, all access member, reach out to our support team, support at prosperitypub.com. I'm trying to think who the panel is going to be. I think it's going to be myself and Lance, Jeffrey Turnmeyer. I think Jack Carter will be there. I know that. Let me check and see what else I have. I think that's at least, I don't want to miss anybody. Okay, give me a second here. Who else is here? Got the schedule right here. So Jack Carter, Jeffrey Turnmeyer, Lance, Alex Reed will be there, and myself. So Jeff, Jack, Lance, Alex, me. Five of us will be there. Yep. Cool. All right, that'll be fun. So, like I said, I will try to have as little disruption as possible. Since I am in the conference on Monday, I know I'll have daily profit play in the morning. It might just be a quick update for Waterfall Income members. I may not be able to run the Waterfall Income session because I will be live I think they had me coming in live at 11:30 a.m. Yep. So no waterfall. Anyway, I don't want to make it all about next week. That's next week. This week is business as usual. Be a busy week. Let's see what the market does, cooperates. Let me get some monthly trades out for engineered options. Price right now looking pretty good. We're at 697. We need to stay above 691. And we should have another full winner today for engineered options for 100%. So checking the XSP right here. So it should have 691 is our strike that we need. And right now the option chain for 691 is there's like a 93, 94% chance it stays fully in profit. So one more thing to engineered options. Engineered options. Update for 2/2 expiration. We have a XSP. All right. Final update here for engineered options. Current option chain showing a 90, but a 93 to 94% probability of profit. That the 691 remains out of the money. For us, that is a full profit winner for 100% return on risk. Okay. So update that later. Obviously, the day isn't done, so I can't assume that it's already in. And I'm not going to take the profit because I want that full 100% winner. So could I close it right now at a 1 center, maybe like 1 or 2 cents? You know, like if it closes for 1 or 2 cents, I'll add that in the notes. If you want the profit, if you're trading like 10, 50, 100 contracts, you can close it for a 1 cent debit. That's the same as what the broker is going to charge you anyway for cash settlement. If you want to close for 0.01 or 0.02 debit and the broker fills, that's fine too, to book the profit now. No Graham being he lives. I mean, Graham might be in the office. I just don't know if Graham's going to be part of that live event. Maybe not that one particularly. Yeah, I'll probably get a video out, John, for pinch point. I'd like to take a look at the updated scanner. We're getting obviously a lot more volatility here. I'd say February, March, April. Mark is due for some volatility, so I think if we get some pinch point trades, we're going to look for some good ones there. Either both days. I should be there. I'm speaking on Monday and Tuesday, so I have segments on both. They're just giving me a morning slot so I can still do my daily profit play. But usually I think each morning by 11. I think 11 to 4, I'll be there for the whole day. Cool. Do I have anybody that's in the room right now that's coming next week? Who's coming to Jacksonville or who's going to be there online? Larry will be there? Nice, man. I will see you there, sir. Good. If anybody wants to go, if you're a VIP member, all access member, Diamond Club, whatever it is, contact the team. Support at prosperitipub.com. So we've got the hotel is right in Ponte Vedra, close to our headquarters. And I'm flying in like Sunday afternoon. I'll be in the hotel. Got a couple friends in Orlando. I think they're gonna come up and grab some dinner on Sunday night. I've got a client that I might pop in and see while I'm there for a couple days, but I'm not leaving until Wednesday, so I'll be there for a couple days. Hotel's full. That hotel's full. Okay. I'm sure. I mean, Jacksonville's a big spot. I'm hoping there's something close enough to the conference. That is annoying. Doug will be there online. Good. Should be done by 4 o'clock. Tuesday, 4 o'clock. Looks like we're doing Q&A until 4 o'clock or so. Closing bell, panel discussion, Q&A with audience until 5. So it looks like we officially wrap 5 o'clock Tuesday. Yeah, and my flight's out. I can't get home on Tuesday night. I was hoping to, but the flights coming back to Salt Lake City are like, I think my last flight is 5, and there's no way that's going to work. So I'm just going to fly out first thing on Wednesday morning. All right. Anyway, we're good for the day. So like I said, up and coming. I do have some monthly setups to get out for engineered options. I want to set those out to the 227 expiration. We'll get those posted. That'll go in Telegram and in the tracker. Daily profit play. Hopefully win the day. I know I sacrificed the defense trade if we have price less than 69.85, but greater than 69.60. We should have our full winner for daily profit play. And then the defense, we just toss it in the trash and we still grab 90 cents in the day. Waterfall income live session coming up in 30 minutes. I'll be live at 11:30. Looking for updates here. New trade on silver for Project Options Edge. That's in the tracker. I need to put that in Telegram still. New trade. Trade number 102. That was a 41. 36. Ratios red combo with high IV on silver. Overall, it should be an income trade with little to no assignment risk. But if price is less than 40 or less than 35, I'm willing to keep the SLV shares with break even. So that would be own it at 37.50 minus 1 for the two ratio spread combos, and then minus I guess 78 cents. So 35.72, 35.70 to 35.75 with profit traps and entry credit. And if I owned SLV there, so we go up, we fall to, let's say 35.70, I would own it about a 67.5% discount. So 67.5% discount from the recent and crazy all-time highs. Okay. Now, one thing to keep in mind, we've seen some blow-off tops in silver in the past, 1979, 1980, 2011. They've resulted in like 80 to 90% pullbacks. So if silver does the same thing again, well, I guess nobody learned their lesson. If I take the assignment at 67% discounts, I mean, that's also, if I own it there at 30, 35 and change, getting back. So if we ever get back to those all-time highs, that's a 200% gain. So from a trader standpoint, if we ever hit silver highs again, I don't know if it's going to take, a year, or we just have like, oh, silver's the greatest AI trade ever. Maybe it is, but I'm going to treat it like it's income right now. Okay. SLV trade is out to January 2027. It's a 1/15/2027 expiration. I'm going out a year on that one. Engineered option trades by today. Yep, they'll be posted in Telegram and trackers. Let me try to get through my waterfall income trade. In fact, what I'll probably do is if I wrap up here for daily profit play, that gives me a tiny little window before I start waterfall income. I should be able to get my monthly trades posted for engineered options. Yep, so let me work on that now. Cool. All right, let me check one more thing here for today. Anything where I can get some call premium? Nope. I was going to say, I try to sneak in like now that we turned a little bit of the corner at the top, I try to maybe grab a little bit more premium here at like the 25 and 35 zone, but those credits are offering like nothing. So, all right, should be good. So high of the day, intraday was 69.80. We need to stay below 85. Hopefully the market will cooperate for us. Is that options edge trader? I know it is. I know it is. But I don't mind either one. So 50 by 45, I mean, would I own shares? Yep, I would. Chance of assignment of those are both pretty low. Larry needs to below 75. All right, dude. As always, I'm cheering it on for you. Yep, I get it. So and I'm not doing that to like, double and triple up on silver, but if I were to own silver, I mean, that ratio spread for trade number 99, that is a 45 minus 5 minus, let's see here, $1.65. I mean, I should own the shares at like 38, 35. The key level in silver to me is if this comes back to retest 50, that was the all-time high, right? So previous all-time high in 2011, 1980 was 50. Do we think that silver is just going to go straight down to that level and just create a new like low again? Is it coming 90% lower? It's like what makes the case for silver to be like, oh, it's going to be cheaper than it was 3 years ago? I mean, if anything, there's a low, there's a high. The market's going to dance around in here. It might be difficult to hit all-time highs right away. In fact, I'm not trying to buy silver now for like, oh, I'm going to hit all-time highs again and chase this thing higher. I'm really not doing that. What I'm trying to do for silver especially is stay the heck out of the way, generate some income down here. And if I have some ownership at some reasonable pullback levels, then anything that gets us back into $100 silver or $90 silver, take the profit. If I'm going to have anything to hold in the portfolio, I'd rather hold gold, and silver just became more of a trade, right? I've been holding silver for 4 years for a trade from 20 to 50, and it worked. And I got paid a lot of money for that. The 50 to 100 plus is, holy crap, this thing, essentially just bursts. But I think gold is a better long-term play. So anyway, more to come. I don't think we're going to have assignments. I really don't. I think we should not have assignments on those trades. I just think that all the excitement is kind of over and done with, and now it's going to chop around and maybe consolidate for a while. So all we need for those trades really is just time to pass. Once time passes, do I want to hang on to the trade for an entire 12 months? No. If it's for $1.55 that I took today, if it's trading for like, 10, 15 cents, I'll just take the profit. Treat it like an income trade. Okay. All right. Okay, really quickly, waterfall income live session starting at 11:30. Waterfall income webinar. We'll have that in my Telegram today at 1 p.m. You're all welcome to join me. I should be getting some updates out. Look for updates in Telegram for daily profit play. Look for my monthly options update for engineered options. Pinch point, I'd like to get a video out this week. Project Options Edge, probably a video this week to touch on what trades we've been adding in. We've been active enough this week or this year so far. We've got new trades in on, let's see here. So far for the year, we have new trades in on AMD and Baidu. Baidu's pending didn't fill yet. We had trades on IWM, trades on Deere, Progressive, some Bitcoin trades, which are way out of the money. Even with the dip lower, we're still there. Close out for Nike for profits. Amazon, SPY, XLE for the energy sector, Dow, XOM for ExxonMobil, Pfizer, Oracle, Generac, Silver, EEM for emerging markets, GLD, and another silver trade. So we're taking some stabs. Mark says, with the DPP, now that we have the defense trade on, do we leave our limit order? Nope. I'm going to let that thing. I'm going to try to get the full $1.50 today, Mark. DPP update with the. I mean, I said that in the last post. The post I posted at 10:23 for the day. DPP $1.50 credit. I still want to win the $1.50 credit, so I'll sacrifice the 60 cents, and the defense is still net 90 cents. Yeah, I don't need to make an update there. So I'm going to let the profit kind of run all day for daily profit play. Right now, daily profit play is somehow it's still break even on the day. Are you freaking serious, dude? The market's like, yep, we can go out 20 points. I'm showing a plus or minus 17 on the day. It's like, I mean, I guess it's still there at like the higher end of the expected move. That would be very annoying. I mean, there's defense there for 10, 15 cents. It's crazy how like it's so much more expensive. Even though it's a better trade to go 10 wide, I'm just not going to throw that much at it. I mean, that trade for 10 cents wouldn't be terrible. I'll sacrifice 10 cents at another $500 profit trap. And that's right in the heart of my trade. But what would annoy me is if we pin at 7,000 and this trade is worthless. See what I'm saying? Like that trade for 5, 10 cents. Anyway, I'm not going to sweat it right now. I think we're fine. Hopefully, price will stay below the high of the day at 80. I don't want to see it getting up into 80 plus. Let's look at Gex on the day. I mean, biggest Gex, biggest Gamma, 69.70. Let me check my dynamic here for a second before we go. Yeah, I mean, my largest levels have been tested. So these are the largest gamma levels for the day, 70, 75, and 80. Check. Is the market going to go higher? I mean, there's 90. But look, if it does it, it's obviously way off for the day. Like efficiency wise, it's a terrible Monday. So we shouldn't see Mondays be stupid all the time. Like if it was a random Monday, sure, but I don't know why the market is just losing its mind today. It's so far it's contained. Previous day's close, opening price. I mean, we're still within that 51 point move, right? We opened at 16. We're up 54 points right now. So we're just around that. We need price to be just a little bit lower from where we opened. Now, based on the close yesterday or the close on Friday, market is pretty much at that stretch move. So we'll see. As always, like I tend to err on the side of efficiency because that's what we see most of the time. So I'm going to kind of rest on that for right now. Okay. If I see anything, I'll post it. All right, we'll go. Waterfall income, 20 minutes. I'll see you at 11:30, and let me get some levels in for engineered options from monthly trades, and we'll talk soon. All right, thanks. Bye.
All right, folks, that's going to do it this morning for the daily profit play. If you guys are interested, we're doing a waterfall income live session this afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So if you guys haven't got into waterfall income, then that'd be a good time to do it. Just totally different other trading strategy, a little bit more long term, kind of similar to engineered options, but not like engineered options. It's a little different. So definitely be there and check it out. I'm going to see if I can drop you guys a link for that if anybody's interested in coming. Let me just grab that real quick here. It will be this one here. So if you guys are interested, make sure you come. It is not this link right here is 1000%. The room is not open yet. It'll be open in like an hour and 45 minutes or so. So if you guys are interested in checking out waterfall income, go right there. But other than that, I think I'm just going to leave the room open for a couple of minutes here. And when I'm done, we'll call it good. So thanks guys so much for being here this morning on the Daily Profit Play. I hope you got a lot out of it. The markets are kind of taking off here. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see what happens. I think we're in for a nice update though on the market. The Japanese market or the Korean markets actually got halted because they were selling off so bad. So it's interesting to see the difference in reaction, based on where you're at in the world. So but other than that, guys, yeah, keep that link, save it in the chat. If you're in Chris's Telegram, which is also a great place to be, I think I put this link in the chat a ton of times on Saturday. But if you're not in Chris's Telegram, there's that for you. I'm going to kill the YouTube stream and maybe play a song or two while you guys grab those links and take care of what you need to. But other than that, thanks, guys, so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the next episode of the Daily Profit Play.